Here's what we got. We are going to set up an elastic collision, and we're going to take a look at what the data actually looks like using our Logger Pro software. So, what do we have? Well, we have a nice little light car right here, and notice I just had to put a little piece of cardboard sort of material on each end because I have motion sensors. These motion sensors are going to record the velocities, the initial and final velocities of both cars. And so as this little car here, I have a 200-gram mass just taped to the top of it just to weigh it down just a little bit so it stays on the track after the collision. And right here I've got a massive, just with the masses, 1.5 kilograms, okay? So you add in the mass of the car as well, and I'll give you those masses here in a second so that we can actually work the problem. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to send this little blue car into the red one. We are going to call that the positive direction. So the initial velocity of the blue car will be positive, and let's see what happens, okay? So we're not going to record the data yet, just going to let you see what the collision looks like. All right, so there you go. And it's good. It's a good thing that I added the mass here, otherwise this would jump the track and we wouldn't get good data. So that's what's going to happen. After the collision, what you guys can see here is that we expect to have two final velocities that are in that direction. So both of our final velocities should be positive as well. Okay, and we're going to see if we see that on the software.
Now, my initial velocity for the blue car was 0.6874. 0.6874 meters per second. The final velocity for the red car right here, 0.2197. 0.2197, okay? And now what I want you to do is I want you to calculate, again, using the elastic collision equation and see what kind of a velocity we get for our final velocity for the blue car. So go ahead and do it. I'm going to do it too. All right, so here's what you should have gotten. You should have gotten something like 0.1 meters per second. Well, and if I take a look at this, okay, so this is after the collision. Here's my steep slope before, and here's my velocity after the collision, and I run this data and I get 0.095. Well, guess what? That is pretty darn close to 0.1. I would consider this a really good check of our elastic collision equation. And of course, it's not going to be perfect, right? There's a little bit of sound given off in the collision, a little bit of vibration. So there's energy that went somewhere else. So it's not going to be perfect. I wouldn't expect it to be perfect. If it were, then I would say I cheated. But I would never do that. Cool. Thanks for trying this out, guys.